Hey, what's going on, everybody? James here, your ABX audiophile. Today we are going to talk about one of my favorites. And we have reviewed these speakers before, but we've got so much more coming. You guys are going to want to stick around and hear all about this and keep an eye out for the future reviews. We are going to be talking about one of my favorite speakers of 2023 and of 2022. It was kind of my first jump into a real, what I would consider a hi-fi speaker. And of course, we are talking about the Dynaudio EVOKE flagship towers. You can see them to my sides here, the tall black towers. Absolutely fantastic. Why are we talking about these speakers again? Well, because we've got the next tier is the EVOKE 50 towers. We've got those in for review, and we also have their ultra flagship Focus 50 coming in at $11,000 a pair, a fully active speaker system. We are going to be reviewing all of these today, and now that I've had the experience to sit with the Emmet 50, the EVOKE 50, and the Focus 50, which are all the flagship towers in that lineup, I have a bunch more perspective, thoughts, and kind of facts, if you will, about these Emmet 50s and how high they actually punch into the Dynaudio world. And we're going to talk about that again today. So you're going to want to stick around. Hit the like, subscribe button. Make sure you get in the comments. If you guys did not know, we are the world's only charity reviewers. 100% of our proceeds go to help musical programs that focus on troubled youth and help them get the mentorship that they need through musical creation. So let's talk about these Dynaudio Emmet 50 because they are fantastic. All right, so the Emmet 50. What is the Emmet 50? So the Emmet 50 is a full-size tower speaker. I'll have the link to their website in the description so you guys can go to their website and kind of check out all the different specifications and stuff between the differences. It is kind of the entry-level speaker tower in the Dynaudio lineup. I mean, they go up to all the way up to like $20-some thousand for sets of tower speakers. So what we have is we have the Emmet series. And in that Emmet series, they have a bookshelf speaker, a smaller kind of tower speaker, and then they have the full tower, the flagship, which is typically their 50 series. And you'll see this going up through their lineup of these types of tower speakers. You start with the Emmet 50. And I think these retail just over $2,000. I think when I bought them, they were like $2,300, $2,400. Prices fluctuate a little bit for these towers here. Then you move into the EVOKE 50 series, and again they have a whole series of smaller speakers, and they kind of move up through the range, with the 50 being the flagship of the EVOKE series. That tower comes in at I believe $5,500 a pair. Then if you kind of continue up that line, before you start to really get into some of their high-end stuff, which I don't have any experience with, you jump into the Focus 50, which looks identical basically to the EVOKE 50, but it is a fully active speaker. So it has the amplifiers and the DACs and all of the stuff built into it. And that comes in at about $11,000 a pair. And everybody's going to be like, oh, that's super expensive. Well, you got to figure you don't have to buy any equipment with it. So those are kind of the three tiers that we've been looking at and spending time with. I'll post pictures all during this review of you know, what they all look like and stuff, and label them out. But the Emmet 50 to me is going to be that entry-level space. Like if you want to jump into Dynaudio and get a good taste of what Dynaudio is, what they bring to the table, and we'll talk about that, that is probably the space that I would jump in at, would be the Emmet 50 for about $2,200-$2,300, maybe even cheaper. You can find them if you can find them on sale. One thing that you're going to ask is the EVOKE 50, which if you put all these up together, they all look really similar. I mean, all the drivers look the same, all the tweeters look the same. You know, the cabinets are very similar. The structure is similar, but there are major differences once you kind of get into it. You're going to ask, is the EVOKE 50 worth the $5,500? Basically almost twice the price. And I am here to tell you that yes, it is worth the money. And we're going to do a full review on those as well. But if you are in the budget, or if you are in the space and you really want to jump into some hi-fi stuff and you got a couple grand to spend on a speaker, I think this is one that you really, really need to look at. And so go to their website, check it out, watch some other reviews on it, watch my older reviews on it, and let's kind of look at this speaker and talk about how it sounds and functions. Okay, so if we're going with the Emmett-50, what does it bring to the table? Well, it is a full-sized, full-range speaker. It is, in my opinion, in my experience, and I have put this thing with an array of amplifiers, integrated amplifiers, DACs. I've integrated subwoofers with it, different subwoofers. We have ran analog systems through this, probably 6 or 7 different streamer DACs. I mean, we have had so much gear in the last year and ran through these Dynaudios. There's one overarching theme that is you're gonna see when you get into the Dynaudio space, and I can only say it as they bring a musicality to the table that I don't hear from a lot of speakers. Usually a speaker is, in some cases, I'm speaking generally, and this isn't take to the bank stuff, but in some cases a speaker to me is kind of, it does a couple things well and kind of lacks in some spaces, or maybe a speaker is super, super clear and the vocals are just awesome, but maybe the bass is lacking a little bit, right? Or maybe another speaker, is really high in treble energy and there's a nice sparkle and airiness to the soundstage, but maybe the mids are scooped a little bit. What you get in the Dynaudio space, in my experience, is a well-rounded, well-balanced speaker. It is resolving and detailed in the treble frequencies. It is real and robust in the mid-range frequencies, and the bass. I don't think that I've heard a tower speaker this year that does bass as well as the Dynaudio lineup, and that will go for the Focus, Evoke, all the way down to the Emmett-50s that you see behind me here. Fantastic, punchy, full bass, no bloat, no overhang, nice and tight. Moving up through the mid-ranges, man, your vocals and your acoustical instruments are all going to come across with a nice realness and a robustness, good meat on the bone, really, really well-rounded. Moving up into that nice soft dome tweeter that they use, the treble region is nice and sweet. It is smooth. It is not diffused. There is good resolution, detail, and focus, although if you move to some other speakers, they can get you better in that space. But at the end of the day, if you are looking for a speaker that is going to be fun to listen to, not fatiguing, you can have these on axis, off axis. They have a wide dispersion. They throw one of the best sound stages that I have probably heard. You get into some of this like cue recorded tracks where it pushes images out into the room, the Ballad of Bill Hubbard and things like that, just pushes things way out into the room. So the sound stage is really, really nice, really big and deep and vast, nice spaciousness to it. Probably not the most clarity, focus, and detail that I've heard in sound stages, but that's not what these Dynaudios are about. There are plenty of other speakers to kind of get you there. But at the end of the day, just absolutely phenomenal experience. One of my favorite speakers. I will probably be ending up with the Evoke 50s staying here. We will see. I actually have these Emmett-50s. I purchased these ones a couple years ago thanks to my buddy Carson in the Discord. So anyway, that's kind of our rundown of the Dynaudio Emmett-50. If you want to get into all the specs and the driver sizes and all of the measurements and stuff like that, you can go to their website and check that out. And I'm sure there's other reviewers that do that and get into that space. For me, it's more about just bringing you guys along on my musical journey and talking about kind of some of the differences that are in these things and, some of my thoughts. I don't really measure anything too much. It's about sitting down and listening to the music and getting that experience and how does it touch your soul? How does it make you feel? Is your hair standing up on your arms? Are you getting goosebumps? When you're listening to this stuff, and with the right pairing, these Dynaudios are going to bring that to you. They're a whole package. You won't be lacking on anything. Getting into a little bit of the specs, because I will. They are a slightly less efficient speaker, so you are going to need a nice high watt tube amplifier or a good solid state Class AB, Class D, GANFET, something like the Orchard Audio Starnkrimson Ultra was absolutely phenomenal on these. The PrimaLuna DiaLouge Premium blew these away with some nice tubes. That's about a 44 watt tube amplifier, I think. Even with some EL34s dropping down to about 25 watts, it still did pretty good, although you got to crank that volume all the way up there. They are a little bit, I'm not going to say they're a warm speaker, but they are neutral, if not rolled back just a smidge. So they pair well with nice, clean, solid state amplification, Class D GaN FET specifically. Tubes are amazing. It can get a little bit warm just depending on what tube you're using. In my PrimaLuna DiaLouge Premium, I run the KT88s, the Gold Line KT88s. That is a fantastic pairing, very dynamic and punchy. It's still got nice tight bass to it, but it doesn't get too rolled off. If you roll into kind of an EL34 space or some of them kind of more smoky tubey, you know, type vibes, it could get a little bit warm and slow for you. KT120s are a good space there. So yeah, just, you know, thinking about that. But and the other thing is placement. They like to be really far apart. They like to be maybe towed in just a little bit, but I think I have mine, when I have these set up in my main listening room downstairs, I think I have them about 9'6" apart. And I'm sitting about 8.5 feet. So that nice width with a little closer listening position is a fantastic space for these Dynaudios, and that goes across the board with the Emmets, Evokes, and the Focus 50s. I appreciate you guys being here today. Definitely take a look at Dynaudio if you're looking to get into that space. It's not a speaker that I hear a lot of people talk about, and it irritates me so much that people don't know about Dynaudio because it is such a fantastic speaker. Not that people don't know about Dynaudio, I just don't hear a bunch about it. And man, they're just doing some fantastic stuff over there in Denmark. So I would plead you guys, if you're thinking about the $2,500 space for a set of towers to get into your system and really jump into some good hi-fi, maybe you're jumping up from a $1,000 set of speakers or a $500 set of speakers, and you're thinking, man, I really want a good, well-rounded presentation that's going to bring me just as much bang for buck as possible. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find something that would give you that better than the Dynaudio Emmet 50s. So take a look at them, give them some consideration, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. We're going to be doing some good stuff this year. Hit that subscribe and notifications because we're going to be doing the Evoke 50 and the Focus 50 review coming soon. It's going to be super awesome. We're going to see if we can't put $5,000 worth of gear on the Evoke 50s and try to kick the butt of the Focus 50s. And we've got some really, really cool stuff coming for those reviews. So, and then we'll wrap it all up with some final thoughts and do a review kind of all three of them together and how they compared. So you're definitely going to want to see this lineup and rundown of the Dynaudio 50 series flagships as we move forward. Appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you later. I'm ABX Audiophile. Have a good one.